Welcome all, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read, and there's some very important messages that came through in this read, so if you can stay tuned, please do. It is October 8, 2019, and this day for some reason has always stuck with me for some reason, October 8th. It tends to be a good time of year for me, but there was something special about that date. So the number 8 is the Strength card. It's all about inner and outer strength, but it's also about the higher levels of manifestation. As opposed to 4, which is the manifestation of survival, the 8 is the manifestation of your dreams. And a lot of what the read had to do with your dreams coming true today. So the day adds up to the 30, which is a 3. It's also the 4 of Wands. And the 3 is all about expressing yourself authentically. It's about siblings. It's about coming together socially. It's about being that happy-go-lucky person who smiles. The 4 of Wands is all about the union energy and the stability of joy. So we have the Strength and the 4 of Wands today. So strength in building a strong foundation, okay? So there's a police gunfire range not too far from me, which I brought up before, but I've been noticing it more lately that they've been shooting a lot. And today it was like off the hook. They're waking me up in the morning with gunfire, which isn't a pleasant way to wake up in the morning. But I also wonder, how much wounding have I cleared over the years listening to that gunfire? It doesn't bother me, the sound of it, just that it wakes me up in the morning. So something to think about, but it's also the theme of the day, the gunfire, because more about that kind of thing came up in the read. But also, if you hear that too, like what comes up for you when you hear the gunfire? What kind of wounding is there that needs to be released? So the masculine read today, and again, this is the masculine within the masculine, but also the masculine within the feminine. And don't forget, this is a general read, so if it doesn't resonate with you, then it may not be for you. But don't forget, if you get triggered or your feelings feel hurt, it's there for a reason. It's because it's your subconscious wounding coming up, all right? If it doesn't bother you, then there may be no reason to watch it. Sometimes we need to be triggered so we can identify our subconscious wounds, to bring them up to our consciousness and then release them going forward. And that release is not only for you, but your whole lineage, your children, your parents, your siblings, all of your lineage gets released from that wound. So the read was done basically 9:59 to 10 o'clock. So the 11th hour, and then on the hour, the 10, the 1000, a lot of source energy backing it up with the Magician. There were no numbers on the code line again today. And we had the guidance for major arcana, which is like the Hierophant, the Star, the Tower, the Strength card, which is the day today. And then after the read, the Ascension card came up, which is like the World. We had 1 Pentacle, 3 Swords, 2 Cups, 1 Wand, so mostly wands today, which is about action, creativity, being physical. And then we have the Court cards of the King of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Swords, so very masculine energies here. The numbers that came up in the read only were, we did have double 9s and double 10s, but it's only with the extra cards. And we had 23, which is the King of Wands, so it was very significant for the King of Wands and the King of Cups today. And then we had 89. And then number 6 came up after the fact, so that was kind of a secondary as well. But that's also the Lovers. So very much about the King of Wands today. And the message in the code line here is about domestic harmony, compassion, time out, synchronicities, love partnerships, and music. The first cards out were music and love partnerships, so that was the most important that came out. And then the higher timelines, I'll let you know at the end of the read, like I usually do, because there's more cards there. So the Sophia energy was coming up here, and the key, after death, in taking the high road, add the King of Cups, or unconditional love. And so it's very simple. That's all it was today. That saints add or take the high road as well. After death, the King of Cups, unconditional love. Mary and Jesus on the cross together after death, take the high road, add the King of Cups, unconditional love. So we start with the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So that's right here. A lot of the cards are kind of buried today because we had a lot of clarifiers that came out. And then we have the 6 of Cups, the Children in the Garden, which is actually upright here. The 10 of Wands, which is upright. And then the Knight of Pentacles there, which is the Loyal Servant. So done overworking, all aligned, twins' inner children carry the weight of the world on their shoulders and need to be still for a moment. When you need a rest, take it, whether others like it or not. Love yourself first, Divine Masculines. Stand up for yourself. Be adamant when necessary. These are the boundaries you create so you can raise your vibration to the energy of love. You get this way when pushed to your emotional limits, and the Queen of Wands reversed here gets defensive, wanting to start a war when her feelings are hurt. Twins healing and dreams come true, a higher love illuminated by the Hermit, the wise one, the need to release pressure, but not by taking it out on someone else, not blaming the other, but rather taking responsibility for your own pain, not by feeling guilt and shame, but rather by purging it out and raising your vibration again, being love in every moment, a spiritual discipline, not owned by a certain religion, but to all. The one. So then the Scrooge was coming up, that the Scrooge is the wounded warrior. It is the overwork. It is the magician reversed who feels insecure and manipulative. It is the need for justice, which is being right as opposed to being happy. It is the need to walk away from problems as opposed to staying in the energy and working through the pain. It is the fighting and the competition. And the King of Wands reversed, who's now completely depleted. Okay, so don't judge others in justice. It's also about judging others and yourself. You don't need to judge anything. Just make the decisions you need to make for you. It's not your place to invade another space and make their decisions. That's judgment. It's okay for you to judge or make decisions for yourself, but not to get down on yourself about things that you deem as mistakes, because nothing ever is. The King of Wands is the man of passion, and he's coming up here with Aries, Virgo, Gemini, or Libra energies as the Divine Masculine. The Masculine's also coming up as the Emperor and also the King of Swords today, also the King of Cups, etc., etc. So in every read, they can come up as all of the kings, but the kings can also at the same time represent other people in their space. Okay? So there was still gunfire going on at this time, and it was 1036. That's the Wheel of Fortune, and the 36 is the 10 of Wands, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, that heavy burden that needs to be released. It also can just be working really hard outside, getting a good workout. But are you working too hard, even physically, in that way? The King of Wands reversed, giving too much, overworked, and feeling out of options. The Scrooge is hurt and overworked, insecure, so then they feel manipulative, judged, and then feel like walking away and giving up. The need to fight to survive should be changed to the choice to expand your options, to play and be light. The King of Wands is exhausted but still giving or watching how others share. Little lizard on platform wants the money clip shoes and long tail of reptilian, long line of I'm better than. All right, so then at that moment, I was guided to some information about the Third Reich, and I couldn't remember, is it the 3? I couldn't remember if it was 8, or I couldn't remember what the actual title was. But the Third Reich and Hitler came up here, which is the Third Empire. So the I'm better than came up with the Führer, the leader, right? So someone who's in the lead deems himself as better than in traditional relationship, okay? And some of this information from Hitler was coming up from Britannica and en.wikipedia.org. So the 3 different Reichs that were here, we hear about the Third Reich, but we don't often realize there's a First and Second Reich. The Holy Roman Empire is the First Reich, it listed 1800 to 1806, and then the German Empire of 1871 to 1918, the Second Reich. So the Third Reich was considered the unification of Germany into an anti-communist realm, and their slogan was one people, one empire, one leader, and you see where that got us. The Führer means leader. So then I was guided to the Hitler information, which was for October 8, 1939. Today's October 8th. So 1939, October 8th, a Sunday, which came up twice in looking this information up. 2 different days were both a Sunday, so that's important here. Hitler issued the decree proclaiming the annexation of the Polish and Czechoslovakian occupation. I'm not even going to try to say the towns because the words are so big and complicated. But the ghetto was then founded in Nazi-occupied Poland. Also, a German submarine, a U-12, was lost to a mine in the Strait of Doves. In London on October 8, 1939, the Hitler peace proposal was reviewed, and that's when Great Britain and France reached out to President Roosevelt to help restore only. So that at that time, they thought it would just be limited. They just wanted the U.S. to come in for help on restoring the independence of the Polish and the Czechoslovakian people. Also on October 8, 1933, which was also a Sunday, that's the other time it came up, Diego Martinez Barrio became the new Prime Minister of Spain, which I'm losing my voice, so I know nothing about that, so there's something that needs to be said on his behalf. So again, that was Diego Martinez Barrio on August 8th, 33. That's when he became Prime Minister of Spain. So maybe I'll look into that to see what else is coming up. October 8th, 97 was the Middle East Arab-Israeli War. It looked like the 8th may have been the third day of the war, but that was around that time as well. So you see a lot of war stuff coming up right now. The proclamation of, Hitler was today. So, and it's also a holiday today, so it's also in remembrance of all the Jews that were killed, okay? Because a lot of times Spirit will bring up people who have passed away, who need to be brought up because maybe they didn't get as much recognition as they deserved, okay? So then at that point, when I had written that down, I went back to the read. I was talking to a friend actually about that stuff. What it means to be a leader. Both, for example, Nixon and Hitler also had very positive things said about them as far as contributions, along with that, the very negative. Fighting is draining, it imprisons. Giving and playing is freeing and energizing. If you're giving and it's draining, it's not aligned with your energy. Try something new. Both the King and Queen of Wands here in the read are reversed here, neither energized by their relationship. The Sovereign is out being seen, admired by the King of Pentacles in a high vibration on the same level, while the Queen of Pentacles on a lower vibration, still good in essence, has money on her mind, Scrooge mentality. And that's not meant to be insulting someone, it's just that mentality of the 3D where we cling to money and need to save. The King and Queen of Wands, the King and Queen of Pentacles are very well grounded here, as well as Sovereign. While the Queen of Pentacles is aligned with stuff and saving money, the Sovereign is on her own, independent and aligned with Christ consciousness. Or a wealthy family here with another, or a wealthy family here where the mother is grounded and saving and the father is admiring his well-rounded child, or the Sovereign's freedom. Express your love came up here, as well as unrequited love beneath that for the masculine today. So unrequited love comes up first for him, and now it's time for him to express his love. So it's coming up in the underlying energy as the relationship of him as the wounded warrior, the King of Wands, the Man of Passion who's reversed, and the Queen of Wands reversed, is coming up as a relationship that doesn't resonate, that is draining both of them. And then it's coming up with the Pentacles energy, that's a very compatible relationship. And you see that right here is the King and Queen of Pentacles with the Scrooge in the lower 3D energies, but in the higher vibrations, the Divine Masculine as the King of Pentacles also sees the Sovereign and the sovereignty as something really good. Like he's admiring the independence of others in relationships, as opposed to being the King and Queen of Wands, both energetically depleted, but each being their own person. So the Knight of Swords is pulling or splitting hairs, or animated hairstylist here has come to save the day. So somebody might be getting in the salon, getting their hair done. The King of Pentacles with hero red cape, hands off, leaving girls in his capable hands. So obviously like at the salon, that type of thing. Or there may be Divine Masculines who like to do hair in their spare time. Fantasy family mirror, two lovers, or the affection for your children, and favoritism also comes up here. Or savior by day and hairstylist by night, or hanging out with girls, or at the bar watching a game or a fight, or a wrestling match perhaps. Affection of the wealthy or abundant family, strong, but no one is around very much. Just me and my shadow, strolling down the avenue, right? The kids growing up and don't need you as much or have left the house. So the empty house or empty nest syndrome is coming up here for the masculine. The Cupid's arrow is aimed at his brain, knowing that if the kids are still there living with them, that it won't be forever, and they have their own lives to live. Then the masculine may be thinking they're stuck with a partner, tackling the bore, making him do what she wants, including cosmetic changes, pulling eye teeth out was coming up here as well. And it could just be, giving them great pains, or pulling out fangs. Their fangs may come out, and that's at 1147, the Justice card, or the 47 of the Seven of Cups, which is about synchronicities and your options. So what are your options? Also, watching TV with kids, the Divine Masculine may have just had a major epiphany about his life and what makes him happy. Being called a bore is no bed of roses. Telling you what's wrong with you and what needs to be fixed about you, again, no bed of roses. Or maybe it will be really boring without the kids. Parents with not much in common, don't really like each other, or maybe okay with each other but not attracted to each other anymore. Tackling the bore, being called the bore, or fantasy mirror with fruit, gentle toes on your heart, and food on the floor is okay as long as you clean up your own mess. Which part of your day, work, play, family, is actually you? In which minutes are you truly happy? Spiritual relationship comes up here, which is 27, the Ace of Wands, that creativity and that strong new passion. And then beneath that card was creativity, number 3, which is the Empress, Gaia, but also joy. Expressing your authentic self creatively. Living in the past and now waking up and looking to get out. Powerless or financially drained partners or kids. Dependence a burden. How old before they take care of themselves. The masculines are grounding and integrating a taste of the Holy Grail. Getting the work done quickly so can get the hell out of here. The King of Swords is coming up here as the Emperor. And then the song was coming up, if I ever get out of here, gonna give it all away. So to a registered charity or whatever, if I ever get out of here. So it's just about feeling dependent because of all the stuff you have, right? It becomes a burden as opposed to something that's good. So feeling trapped by his trappings, drained by the past, being his father's son, but what was the point of all that? And now that he's gone. So someone may have recently lost a parent, whether it's a mother or father. The King of Swords, a royal line and sharp tongue. The Emperor with red, white, and blue, Republican. Caesar and Rome wasn't built in a day. The King's advisor, the man behind the throne, and the Holy Grail, the divine feminine behind feeding the masculine, feeding the Emperor, or that father, or whoever's running his life. Running for office, the political scene. Who should be the leader? The narcissist who does what he loves to do, or the public servant who gives too much and is drained. It's all in the intention and the perspective. The choice, the one who honestly loves what they do and actually do it with loving intention. It's not easy to find one leader who can be everything to all people. Thus, representatives and the people, be you. Express your loving opinion, or don't say anything at all. Be the connected, loyal servant that you are, honest, loving, and wise, with natural boundaries made of loving energy and nature. Mice are curious too. Don't judge them for checking out your cup or sniffing around. It may or may not be their cup of tea. When your energy is one with nature, nature is one with you too. There are 3 cups right next to you. You haven't touched in forever. How are they serving you other than taking up space? And this was at 12:15, the Hangman and the Devil. Do they bring beauty to your life, or are they just collecting dust in the wind? Red, white, and blue and gold, indigo, purple, violet, and gold, or nature and Christ consciousness, the Holy Grail meets Holy Communion. The grand gold cup and that gold coin, the riches of creation, the quantum leap and shift in dimension. The squirrels are definitely interested in that big cup, you see. They can store a whole lot of nuts there, as they are very busy collecting for the winter slumber and Christmas season. The Emperor's overworking, done aligning, time for testing, sharing information, as well as time, money, energy with others. Not one over the other, but sharing, both teachers and both students, not give and take, but letting go and allowing, giving and receiving, grounded, well-rounded, and strong, meaning healthy. Spiritual partnership, always putting yourself first. Recently for the masculine is the Hierophant reversed, which is also Taurus and guidance energy in this deck. Could be a divorce or spirituality, just thinking outside the box, on a quest to wave hello and offer their gold coin to the one he's permanently connected to. Offering the gold coin a new life to self-happiness with lover, affection, and great abundance, to move home and or end a marriage, contracts, partnerships, etc. that no longer resonate with you. The Queen of Swords is speaking her truth as one of two, with Emperor chained together, the bird flying the coop toward the stars, while the Libra lover or Gemini judge is sad to say something to the Queen of Pentacles and Page of Wands. A married couple could also be telling older kids that they're splitting up. Capricorn Emperor and Aquarius or Gemini Queen of Swords both could have Taurus in their energies. Libra and Gemini talk to the kids, Earth and Fire, or the Queen of Pentacles is inspired, or the parents are apologizing to the Divine Masculine and a sibling, releasing them then, the Divine Masculine, to be with their Divine Feminine. The Emperor first and last, and smack in the middle of this read. The Emperor Taurus, Capricorn, King of Swords, with a bit of water on their lips, which can be Mercury in a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Overworked and giving too much, spiritually aligned, and breaking commitments and or divorcing. Third party gossip and too much partying and no joy. Twins with no option, as the King of Wands reversed is depleted, challenged by the King of Cups, unconditional love. The wounded warrior on the last leg, healing so dreams can come true, trying to hold their tongue, but about to blow, in the aftermath of recent events and epiphanies, needing to be strong, healthy, tiger with their eye on the prize. Now that the worst is over, of suffering and silence, no more. There's completion here, and the Divine Feminine completes his world. And that's at 12:51, the Hangman, and 51, which is the King of Swords. And that's, again, like Jesus on the cross with Mary Magdalene. Redefining what it means to be unconditional love at 52. So here we have the King and Queen of Swords. And losing his health is not it. Worst is over for the Emperor with the Queen of Swords bird with Aquarius or Gemini, Libra, and Aries, Taurus, or Capricorn, but minimal or no water in their chart. Sad news to the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, or an apology to the Queen of Pentacles upright by karmic or child with the Divine Masculine, Page of Wands, Emperor standing by. So the Emperor and the Page of Wands are both coming up as the masculine. Then the Page of Wands on a quest as the Capricorn with a shadow side, waving hello. That's his childish self, which can be impish. On a quest as the Capricorn with a shadow side, waving hello to offer new life, to satisfy lover and dream family of wealth and abundance. Now moving out from Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, female, Taurus, Aries, or Capricorn. No option for the King of Wands reversed, without joy, but to express his feelings or have a heated exchange, to walk away and within when they need to hold back unloading on them, harsh words or physical abuse. The central issue or energy here is the two flames, but reversed, without choice of a path. They are connected as one for emotional fulfillment, grounding and integrating offer of love from source. A large undertaking in the wake of the storm, lies and split, cutting to the chase and through the BS. Pulling Excalibur and using it, getting to the point. The enemy is always self on the warpath, broken down, emergencies, inability to move forward or up and ascend. Implementing a plan to create inspiration by putting an end to the never-ending storyline. And I was getting major connection there too. This is where we come to the happily ever after part. How does your story end? What are all the pieces that make up that day? challenged by unconditional love, the King of Cups. What's the ideal way to love yourself? Be the leader of your own life, to inspire and be inspired. To ask out the divine feminine who's complete and yet vulnerable still. And masculines, no fear of rejection. Good guys finish first when they love themselves first. It's cruel to be kind. It's just about speaking your truth. Then it's in their court to heal their own wound. The devil is the shadow. It is the fear of the dark. The Empress reversed, also overworking, but is now done. Or what she was doing was not actually working for her, and now the worst is over. Prisoner of dark energies and keeping the divine feminine in physical separation from justice, from fairness, truth and balance, or Libra energies, or the King of Cups and the Devil or Capricorn were actually two devils, the Emperor and the Empress reversed. The Emperor's upright here, but the Empress is reversed. And the King of Wands is reversed with the King of Cups. Okay? So, a feminine Libra can come up here too with the Empress reversed. The keeper of the feminine Libra, though, can come up as the divine feminine, as the keeper of the third energy. And the student in need of help with a hard time learning their lessons is coming up as the masculine in their inner child. Also could be the Empress reversed as the karmic or mother who was trying to harvest the third energy between them, like the keeper of the third energy. But the masculine coming up is that student in need of help with a hard time learning their lessons, or 1 to 3 kids brought to the divine feminine to meet them or to offer something. The Emperor can be Capricorn, but the King of Wands reversed and Empress reversed are coming up as the devil energies in the negative sense. The energy vampires, his or the karmic's mother and or brother, possibly malaligned or never learn, or the Empress reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed often come up as the karmic and her mother, or just the karmic, or the Empress reversed here and could see the divine feminine as a spoiled brat, or her own child is. The two of them may be up to no good here. The best case scenario is that the Empress reverse may have passed away and that's why she's reversed. So it's not anything bad about her. Or she's just ill now or having issues. You know, could be an older person who's mentally ill or physically ill because they're old. But other than that, if it's not the divine masculine coming in with kids to see the divine feminine or meet them, it could be the clan of the masculine or the karmic coming in to surround the feminine without the divine masculine there with ill intentions, even though they may not come off that way. A Libra, male or female, and the Page of Wands look okay, the young fire energy, but the Page of Pentacles is reversed and the Page of Cups is reversed and the Empress is reversed. So if they come in like that, those three are definitely negative energies. The Empress, the Page of Cups, so the watery sign, the more emotional one, and the Page of Pentacles one can be very manipulative. But the fire sign, the one who's really energetic and inspired, looks good. Or Libra energy, which can be the divine masculine. But I'm saying if they don't come in with the divine masculine. The Page of Wands could actually be the King of Wands reversed, the Page of Wands reversed, and the King of Wands reversed, which could be the masculine. But the Page of Wands isn't reversed, so I don't know why I'm writing that down. Yeah, the Page of Wands is definitely upright energy in here. But the Page of Wands, his inner child, the King of Wands is reversed because he's really depleted today, if it's the masculine. If the King of Wands is the brother or somebody else, then it's reversed in a negative way. They could be tired too, but for the masculine, it's coming up that he's just depleted today. So the Page of Wands upright can be his inner child. It's just not depleted like his adult is. But with his mother, that could be him with his mother and sibling, or with the karmic and siblings or friends. Or the Empress reversed may have passed away recently, like I said, due to she may have been a workaholic and didn't take care of her health. In that case, people may be just sad or not, depending on her personality. So if she wasn't well liked, they may not be sad. But she may have been sucking the life out of the divine masculine. The King of Cups, Taurus, King of Swords, Libra, or the King of Cups is with Taurus, King of Swords, Libra, with third energy and frustration. The King of Cups could be brother or a father to the divine masculine. The Emperor is upright today, but when the Emperor's not upright in these reads, the King of Cups tends to be reversed too, so it could be the same person. There could be two different emperors in this read here. One could be the masculine, the other could be a father figure. The King of Wands reversed could be just be the Divine Masculine really exhausted, or it can be both the Masculine and someone else in his life. He's definitely coming up as the wounded warrior. That's how the Masculine's seeing himself today. But this could also be someone around him, a brother, partner, or friend who's manipulative in his energy. Could be the karmic's brother as well. The King of Wands reversed shaman is coming up as Justice or Libra, divorced, looking back at awakening, or looking back at ego, and the poor student who never learns, could be looking at himself, or a child in need of help, or himself needing help, a hand up right now, suffering in silence, stressed out, holding their tongue about the past, with the fire swallower, Sagittarius, a good Jupiter placement, so they tend to get away with everything. Or that Sagittarius is the Emperor Divine Masculine, now drained, sick, sad, or overexposed about the twins coming together, or totally spent due to his kids. The King of Cups prisoner of home and or marriage is moving and or ending, getting away with murder, so to speak, or the third energy frustrations with the past attention or attention to the divorce, finding peace in crying, purging, and the Empress reversed pushed to their limits in the aftermath of a death, change, transition, or transformation. So again, she may have passed. Or there are just major changes coming up now. Standing up for self and for third party, the masculine, putting it all out there, the hermit shedding light and missing their flame without joy in their life, or the divine masculine is now missing their flame, overindulging, or hearing gossip may have participated in the past. Soon as dreams come true, the healing takes place, standing up for himself, fending off others, rushing in passionately to connect with the Queen of Cups. A fool for the dream family to cross that rainbow bridge and offer love, wanting to heal the divine feminine suffering in silence and bring her tears of joy. He is the wounded warrior, that's how he's seeing himself today, who ran away from the Queen of Swords, who was just speaking her truth, to share with others and to be love, the King of Cups, unconditional love. It's time that he takes his rightful place to stand beside her in that. Getting to know each other came up, new love, release your ex, Divine Masculine, and worth waiting for. And this was all at 155, which is the Magician and the Ace of Swords, the truth. Around the Divine Masculine, or how he is seen at 56, which is then the Two of Swords, which is being in your knowing, the King of Swords reverse, holding back words and messages and holding his tongue. The prisoner at night and at the full moon, poor decision-making comes up at that time. Maybe the Divine Masculine will fall for anything at those times, at night or at the full moons, and find peace in deliberation or at the Y in the road. It is foolish to find peace in standing at the gate. You're either in or you're out. Just make a decision already. The prisoner of false light, always guilting them, and here, quote-unquote, the Jewish mother comes up, clear blocks of the post-trauma stress, trying to avoid disaster. Just allow what needs to be. The universe is so much wiser than we. Dumping attachments, now that the worst is over, resting, meditating in 5D, the wounded warrior is worried about being seen as lazy. But it's music to his ears because he's really stressed out and needs to heal his foolish ways, his lack of faith. Domestic harmony comes up here, as well as compassion, time out, synchronicities, and love partnership. But even more so for the masculine today is all about self-discipline, which is that spiritual practice every day, and new beginnings. And it's not to say any masculine has to be spiritual at all. It just has to do with being in the love energy. So you can name it anything you want. It doesn't have to be called spiritual. Recovering with romance out in the cold without the Hierophant reversed or Taurus reversed narcissistic behavior. Strong like tiger, not bull. With hermit third party, whose good father has passed as well. Connected to the bridge, your divine masculine ladies may have met your father, divine feminines, on the other side. Strong King of Wands reversed. No social life and no message or holding immature tongue, but strong and taming the beast and taking care of his health. Leo, Sag, Aries, ready to chomp, not happy with Taurus and or Scorpio energies here. He may have a speaking engagement to speak about what he knows or about manifesting. The dark night co-creating and putting it out there, implementing a plan to recover into the hermit's arms and be strong with karmic, now that the worst is over, of stress and suffering, the world and cycle complete, with a handle on it again. The secret's out, and there may be some insecurities, with the High Priestess and Magician standing side by side, but both are reversed. The Knight of Cups offers love wherever he goes, in knowing and keeping a high vibration, even when he's broken or others reject his love or are on their own warpath. It's all good. The Emperor's back on top. He's not king, he's emperor. And throughout the non-kingdom and throughout the land, he would know the end to his story is always in his hands and his higher self, his very high self, the emperor. Did I tell you I'm the emperor? Overwork, without joy, gossip addictions, hanging out in the wrong groups. The wounded warrior's been holding their tongue, spiritual and or divorced, no options because he's a twin flame, and the challenge is only unconditional love. Healing and dreams come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. In the wake of the King of Wands reversed and being exhausted, now he's gaining strength, power, and momentum. The worst is over, and the world is as it should be. I am Emperor. And that's how it ends. So now I'm going to get to the 12-card read. I haven't pulled any cards yet for that, so we'll get into that. I'm going to show you the cards